Ooga booga. Anybody in there? Huh? Yeah. Yeah, you are. You're in there. I know you are. You can't deny it. I think what I need to do, though, friends, is clean that. Well, actually, you guys look pretty clean. Eh? I think you look pretty clean. Let's give her a little scrub on the end there. Hey, how you doing, Bri? There we go. There we go. Oh, John Bruner. Johnny, brother, you're a good man. You are. Margus. Hello, everyone. Christine, hello. Johnny Bennett. John Bennett. Kelly. Two Bears. Nice to see you, Two Bears. Critter. Christopher B. Mitchell. Now, there's a man. You are, Johnny. I got a good feeling out of you and your girl there. It struck me as your girl's had some hard times, and you've been there for her. You've probably both had some hard times, but it struck me as your lady that you're her rock. That's what that. I saw the relationship. I saw the dynamics. She's pretty grateful, brother, and you're building and lifting her up and making her feel safe and looked after. And she almost doesn't think she's right, but you're like, oh yeah, you are, sweetheart. You're a hell of a man, John Bruner, and that's plain and simple. That's it. No more needs to be said. And as long as we act in that fashion, we justify our existence to zero. No one. No one. I know, Johnny. I see, Johnny. And for that, my friend, you're solid, and God will provide you with whatever you need. Angry Lion, holy smokes, you got to be kidding me. Look at the Angry Lion, friends. Slams down with a super chat. Brother, holy cow. Angry Lion, good to see ya. Johan Nyback. Mr. Robertson, good to see you. Johnny Bruner, bang bang. Danny Barth, Jim Logger, Jason Reese. Jason, nice to see you, pal. Joseph, oh, there's Marty Rudder. Hello, Joe Grower Farm. Please, hearted people trying to save, please send kind-hearted people trying to save farm. Growers Farm. Wow. Hey, Buckin, hope you and the family are doing good. We are. There's some interesting times we're going into. Of course, I'm the executor of my father's. Oh my goodness, Jason. See, these super chats are, holy cow. Thank you very much, Jason Reese. Friends, we need to thank the super chatters, please. Jason and Angry Lion, thank you guys so much. Send some pictures to Christine. She can get them to me. We'll get them up on the members group. Gint's Family Innovations. Good to see you, brother. Yeah, so lots of busy times coming up. We're cleaning my dad's house out. I don't know if anybody's ever been the executor of a will, but it gets busy. It gets busy. You're the person that looks after all the stuff, the funeral, the distribution of his assets, which he really had none. Danny Barth, thank you, brother. Thank you for the super chat, Dan. Your family's very supportive. Holy smackaroni. Mr. Price, wow. The super chatters are killing it today. Guandez, a member for 2 months today. Friends, we've got emojis on the way for the members. We do. Mr. Sizemore Tree Service is helping me out with the emojis because I don't know how to do that. Well, that's what they say. I guess the responsible one gets the task of doing that. And yes, that's what happened. That's Callum from the UK. I'm trying to start up my own garden and forestry business. I play rugby as my main job. and the forestry is my passion. What advice could you give me? Well, Callum, brother, if it's your passion, it should come very easily. But if you're planning on building a business, right? If you want more business, is that what you're doing, Callum? You're wanting more business? Is that what you're asking me? You want to know how to get more business, or because it's all about service, brother. Service. Going beyond and not just doing the basics. It's about going beyond. So, we had another freaking super chatter come in here. Holy smackaronis. Who was that? It was Steve Roberts. Hey, Buckin. Loving the DGP oil. It's made of the... Oh, good. Steadfast Promise Muffler. Yes. Steve Robinson. I know, brother. It's crazy. I'm telling you. I was hoping it wouldn't work so I wouldn't have to talk about it. But it works like crazy. It's all I run. Anyway, Callum, brother, it's a trade and a wonderful business to carry you through right until the end, brother. Gardening, especially gardening. But it's about service. So it sounds like you say it's your passion. Well, that's a good thing, because I know people that have opened up tree service for the wrong reason, for the money. The money will come when you give it your passion and give it your all. The money will come later. Yeah. Bless you, Buckin. Bless you. Gotta go. Joe Wag, good to see you. William Chapin. Michael, 3 years of working on myself. Glad I did it. Buckin definitely inspired me. Good stuff, Michael. Helga. Matt Wood. If it's his passion, let him work in the woods for 8 hours as a faller. Well, I don't think that's what he wants to do. I think he wants to do gardening and forest work. That wouldn't... He didn't say anything about logging. I think he said like forest, tree service and gardening is what Callum was talking about, I think. I'd have to go back and read, but that's what I understood anyway. He just said faller if he wanted to be a faller, because that's a different game. No, arborists aren't fallers, and arborists and tree guys aren't fallers. You're a different animal completely. It's a totally separate game. So I think what Callum was talking about was kind of more of a tree service type, gardening, landscaping type, but I could be wrong. But that's what I understood. Trying to get the extra step. So far, it's me and my friend and make a business in the garden. Yeah, gardening. There you go. And a lot of maintenance. Brother, just keep pounding. Be nice to people. It's you know, when I started my business, no one could compete with my service. It was my service. I would do a tree job and I'd show up the next day picking up fluffies off the lawn because they were blowing out of the trees on the ground. My job was done. It was over. I was finished. But I would show up the next day and they'd see me out of their kitchen window or their living room window, and I'd be out there waving at them, raking up their yard the next day. You know what I'm saying? Go beyond, because you want that person, when you leave their yard, you want that person to tell every freaking buddy they sit down with on a Sunday barbecue about you. You want to have an experience. I used to call it the Buckin Billy Ray experience when I came to your house. Not a job. I'm not coming to do a job. I'm coming to lay down an experience for you. Do you understand what I'm saying? Brandon Fisher does. Brandon, how are you doing? Who the heck? Justin freaking Sizemore. Oh, yeah. See that, friends? I threw his hat on. He got excited. He threw me a freaking super chat. Justin. Friends, let's thank Justin Sizemore big time right now. That dude was my right-hand man along with the Tin Man and a couple others, Brian Hebert, at the Paul Bunyan show. Mr. Sizemore, I love you, brother. Thank you so much. Sizemore rocks. Yes, he does. Boom, baby. I met the timber guy, the timber cutter patriot again last year too. I like that guy. I like that guy a lot. Friends, thank you for your super chats. Holy cow. Learning a lot with your videos. Good. Good. Alex. Good for you, buddy. That's what it's there for. Get a hold of those videos. If you're ever looking for something that my opinion on something, just go Buckin Billy Ray chainsaw filing or Buckin Billy Ray back cut first. Buckin Billy Ray, whatever. Just search it. It'll come up. I got almost 4,000 videos up there. Yeah. Look at that hat. Look at that sucker. Huh? Guandez, I will send you some. Oh my goodness. Guandez, some bucks from my good week. Some bucks? Oh, Guandez, buddy, thank you for your super chat, buddy. Guandez is a good dude. Eric Chumlarski. Eric, good to see you, buddy. Timber Wright as well. It's nice to see everybody. Hey, Buckin, did find any cool connections or interesting people on your travels? Oh my goodness, every time, brother, every time. I went for the people this year, not to run a bunch of power saws and you know what I mean? I was there for the people. And I met the most incredible people this time. A couple of standouts were Marvin and Thomas. They're in their 80s. And they stood and watched. Who remembers that at Bunyan? Who remembers Marvin and Thomas? The two old guys. Those guys were a blast, man. A super blast. When you do good job, you don't have to. When you do good job, you don't do job 100%. You do a job 180%, give it all. That's right, brother. Mr. Reese, you got it. Anyone who buys a hoodie this week gets a free sample of the new leather conditioner. Oh, Christine. Anybody who buys a freaking hoodie this week, which, you know what I'm talking about? Yeah. Gets a free leather sample. And it's a good size one. And you will like it. Oldies but goodies, right, Michael? That's it. Danny Barth remembers. If you could please. Zach Taylor just introduced me to your channel. Zach, good man. Zach Taylor, your channel 30 minutes ago and highly recommends you. You helped him greatly with tree knowledge. That's Richard. Richard Schneider. You got it, brother. Big shout out for Mr. Taylor. Man, it's friends, it's torrential out today. Torrential. Mr. Sizemore, he met a whole bunch of people there this year too. Man, it's warm. It is. I got my wood stove cranking. Friends, so Dad's wood stove, I've got some videos. I'll put it up in the... I already did one on the main channel, but friends, I'm telling you, my dad's wood stove down at Dad's place, 17 hours. It just did it again last night. We went down to feed the cats this morning, 17 hours. Hey, somebody just did some shopping at the store. Who was that, Christine? Thank you so much. Helga, good to see you. It's beautiful here in Florida in the 70s with a really nice breeze. Fall is here. Mark Gaines. Buckin, just bought someone a hoodie for you to give away. Oh, Buckin, Justin just bought. Oh, okay. Is that what that was, Mr. Oman? Let's do it. Let's freaking do it. I love it. Johnny Stanton, how are you? So is that what Justin Sizemore's, on behalf of the members, I'd like to donate a hoodie to someone. Oh, okay. Thank you. Thank you. So let's do that. Mr. Sizemore, you son of a gun. Ah, I got it. Well, why don't we give that hoodie to that Mr. Taylor guy from Richard Schneider? Why don't we do that, Mr. Sizemore? That's a good idea. Thanks, Justin. I didn't read your freaking super chat, flew by the screen. Let's give, so Mr. Schneider, are you still here, Richard? Let's get a, hey, J&K sent a super chat. J&K, hey! That's really cool, Mr. Sizemore. Dude, Mr. Sizemore is a wild man. Richard Schneider's still here. Okay, Richard, listen. This is what we're going to do. Richard, you're new here, and you were, oh my goodness, Screwdriver's throwing down super chats. Everybody's super chatting now. Let's get some merchandise out to some people. Richard Schneider, just because you are who you are and you said something in the live feed and you shouted out the man that told you about the channel, I'm personally going to give you a hoodie. From Christine's going to give you a hoodie, but I want Sizemore's hoodie to go to your buddy, Mr. Taylor. Can we get a hold of that Mr. Taylor, Richard? How do we do this? Richard, I need you to talk to me, brother. Johnny Bruner, love you people. So many good people here. Oh yeah. Oh yeah. So I want to see if we can, what was his name again, Richard? Shop Pop. The exercise ball saved my can. Straight up saved my can. Oh my goodness. Mr. Guandez is shooting off on super chats again. Mr. Guandez. Buckin, I sent Christine some, oh good, hey, awesome. Some photos, a little, oh okay. Guandez, I'll get it from Christine. Thank you, Guandez. Thank you for the super chat, brother. Richard. Zach Taylor is hopping on your live stream now. Okay, Zach Taylor, here he comes right now. Zach Taylor, are you here yet, brother? Mr. Sizemore bought Zach Taylor a hoodie. Oh, Todd Freud. AK checking in. Love the climbing, drone rescue, tree topping video. Definitely. I was going to go up higher. I was actually going to climb that tree and tie in and go down on it. But not when I seen what was above my head with the freaking bark peeling off it and a crispy little top. Not a chance. I'm too old for that now. I've done some wild stuff in my day, and I'm not taking them chances. It was crispy. So I made another plan. Richard Schneider, you need to get a hold of Christine at buckinbillyray.com, and I'm giving you a hoodie, and Sizemore's giving Mr. Taylor a hoodie, and that's how it's going. Mr. Screwdriver, thank you for the super chat. There's been more super chats. Did I miss any? Todd. I think I may have missed some. It's Todd. Love the climbing. Oh, Todd, thank you for the super chat, brother. Gotcha. Jack Snedden. Jack! Thanks for the shirt you sent me. Jack, there you are. Did you get it, buddy? Did you get the shirt? That's deadly. That was from your sister or your relative on Salt Spring Island, which is a couple hours from me. Jack Snedden, I love you, brother, from Scotland. Jack, I think you're in Scotland. Helga sent some money for some postage. Helga, thank you so much. That helps out. Buckin, how do you know Rob? Rob who, brother? Rob who? Rob who, buddy? They're going by so fast now, friends. I can't keep rolling back here. Yeah, it's moving so fast. Rob who? Hey, there's Zach. Thank you, Screwdriver. Buckin definitely not needed, but much appreciated. Keep spreading the love, Zach. Hey, whether it's needed or not, brother, thank you for spreading the love. You're getting a hoodie from Mr. Sizemore Tree Service and the community here. Justin, I love you. Thank you, buddy. Mr. Sizemore right there. Go see him on YouTube and Instagram. Sizemore Tree Service. He's a good guy. Real good guy. Helga, thank you for your super chat. That helps out a ton. Man, those freaking comments are lying. Southern CA, good to see you. Wow, let me see if I can. Hey, let me try this. Friends, hang on a sec. Maybe I can turn this on and see if I can get the comments a little better. Zach Gross, good to see you. Robbie Groob. Robbie. I'll see if I can get some comments on a little better. Christine, Matt, if you click the super chat, it gives you the option. Hey, have we got new members today? Have we had anybody join the members? There's Okanagan Viking. Zach, thank you, pal. Nicholas. Zabrinsky. Hey, Buckin, misty mornings. Dave, any updates on the fella you helped in Nova Scotia? He's doing incredible. He's doing real good. Thank you for asking. His place is green now. Hey, there's Guandez. This is for the great team behind you, Buckin. Christine, Marty, Mark, all the other people. Guandez, thank you, buddy. What a guy you are. What a dude. Okay, here we go. I want to see more comments. I might see myself here. Buckin Billy Ray. There I am right there. Live. Okay, this is going to be better. There we go. Danny Barth. Yuen's family doing. Well, Danny, they're one family member short now, unfortunately. Yeah. Yuen didn't he didn't make it. I've actually got something planned for the channel, the main channel on that. I don't know if anybody remembers young Yuen from the UK. He was battling cancer. Remember, he lost his leg and then he got a whatever, whatever you call that, a new leg. And he was out there freaking cutting firewood and swinging an axe. And I mean, this guy's heart is just massive. Well, he passed and he passed. Yeah, they're doing good, Dan. I mean, this was a long time coming. They had prepared for this, unfortunately that's what you do in a long drawn out situation. So they're strong people, Dan. Thanks for asking. Yeah. Yeah, I stay in touch with them and they're doing good. They're actually doing surprisingly well as you could be doing in a situation like that. Do you know, friends, that my dad was diagnosed with esophagus cancer 20 days before he died? 19, actually. 19 days before he died. Whether he knew more, I don't know. I couldn't tell you. We never discussed any of that stuff. We just discussed hope and getting well. That's what our discussions were, always. Roger 314, thank you, buddy. Prayers for his family. Thank you, Anthony. Buckin, how do you know Rob Egan? He's my boss. Well, he'll tell you. He'll tell you how we met. Rob's a great guy, and he'll tell you how we met. Just ask him. He'll tell you. Barkin Spider. Whoa. Hey, Jamie, thank you, buddy. He called me for tree work over there. And I took a chance with that guy, and he'll tell you about it. He's a good friend of mine. He's a very good friend of mine. He's a neat guy. He's changed his life around quite drastically, actually. Rob's a solid guy. I think he's allowed the love to come in now. Do you know what I mean, brother? I took a chance with him. He'll tell you about it if you ask him. If you want to know who I am, you talk to Rob Egan about me. He'll tell you all about it. I don't like to talk about myself, really. But he'll tell you if you ask him. I told him he was better than what he was doing. If you want to know the honest truth, Frank. He's a good guy. And I bet you he'll be, yeah. Yeah, I told him he could be better than what he was doing. Now, mind you, this is quite a while ago, going on a couple of years back. Jamie the Barking Spider. Yeah, he was a neat young man. He was not a young man, actually. He was an older man in a young man's body. That I know for sure. He was an old soul. He was a special, special dude. And I told his mom and dad that I was going to fly out there. And it just didn't happen. It happened too fast. I was going. I was leaving. Peter Rosa. Yeah, that was fun. He's turned into be a good friend of mine. Pennsylvania, Tanner Bloom. Good to see you, Tanner. Thanks, Rich. Thank you. Yeah. Yeah, it happened so fast, brother. It happened so fast. The first time you went to the doctor was August 1st. August 1st is when we took him, like he went to the doctor on August 1st. August, September, he died October 11th. My dad I'm talking about. Think about that. Got to let the love in. You got that right, Otis. You got that right, brother. Guandez wants to know what my number is. I would think about a 6, brother. 7 maybe. I've got some. About 6. Maybe physically 7, mentally and spiritually 7s. I'm rolling in 6 and 7s right now. That's where I'm rolling. Pretty, yeah, about right there. Spiritually, probably an 8, actually. So I cannot tell a lie. I would think about an 8. Pretty strong mentally, but I have high expectations of myself, so I can't say 10 if I don't mean 10, and I can't say 9 if I don't mean 9, even 8. 8 is wild for me. 7 is kind of, you know what I'm saying? If I'm on, you'll see me, you know. I'm just being honest. Yeah, that silver Ford's still here, but not longer. Not much longer. I'm going to sell it. Matt, thank you for the super chat. Matt T sends a super chat. Hawk Force, good to see you from Texas. Energy for your endeavors. Hope your brother is good as well. Hope your brother is good as well. Thank you, Screwdriver. Hey, Billy, do you have a Mac 1010 in your collection? I got about 6 or 7 of them. Yeah. Pim, how's it going? Amy, welcome to Buckin Unplugged. Hey, Amy Holden, did you just join up on our members, Amy? Amy, welcome to Buckin Unplugged. Amy, we love you, Amy. Good to see you, Amy. Amy Holden, what a sweetheart. Friends, let's welcome Amy to our members group. Great to see you, Amy. Hawk Force with a super chat. Hawk Force, we appreciate you. That's awesome. My grandpa told me letter I wrote took it year and my number was 3 or 2. Wow. Guandez, what a man. Chris, good to see you. Just made Amy Holden a member. Yeah. Johnny Bruner, good man. Brzezinski, Mr. Brzezinski. Nico. Nico, how are you, bud? Old timer. Hey, there's Ish. Ish, my brother, good to see you. Terry Toller, you count on me. Okay, I'll count on you, Terry. Terry Toller, I'm counting on you, buddy. You said it. That's your word, bud. Your word and your name's all you got. Don't turn it into mud. Don't do it. Just freaking keep your word, brother. Keep your word. That's all we got. So glad I'm a member. Such great people and hard workers. Amy, we're honored to have you. Juno, hope you're having a good day. All the Ford trucks, they should be with 3 pedals. That's right, sir. That's exactly right. Hawk Force says, how can I join? Don't see it. So, Hawk, I think if you hit the super chat button, I think it gives you an option to join the channel. If not, I believe it's on every one of my videos, a little join button. If you leave and then come right back, or just join after. There's all kinds of stuff, behind the scenes stuff, and stuff down at my dad's, and wildlife, and all kind. Whoa, Eric! Holy cow, Eric! Sister C got 5 loops turned up the next weekend, 2832, big wood cutting weekend at our club. I plan to show others how to file it. Right on, Eric. I'm glad you're enjoying that, Sister C. We turn it into this, into this. Howdy, guy, Eric. Thank you for your super chat, buddy. That's a big one, bud. Thank you so much. What a dude. The Sister C. That's 5/32 seconds or 3/16. Good for you, buddy. Sure nice when you get them raker set, isn't it, Eric? Oh, yeah. It's the big scoop. It's the big scoop or the half scoop, which gets chain speed rocking and rolling. It brings the chain speed up, brother. Kim Wilson, good to see you. We're all trying to work hard. We are so. Welcome to our new members, Amy. The members is a whole different thing separate from this. We do about 3 or 4 live feeds a month. And we kind of put a halt on that when my dad was sick. We're just getting rolling again. We just did a big live feed the other day on the members group. And of course, there's all kinds of other stuff in there. Yes, it is, Eric. Yes, it is. It's very key. It's more key than people think, Eric. Way more key. I just watched a couple clips from, someone sent me a couple clips from that, where those guys are, I don't know what they call it. It's an event that power saw guys do. And you could really see the rakers were all over the map on some of them cuts, and they could have done a lot better if they had their rakers set for that little 8x8 they were cutting, or whatever it is. Sawfest. That's what it was. It just came to me. Yeah, rakers are huge, man. They're huge. Buckin. Buckin, don't read this. Oh. Well, Sands Funeral Home is who we're dealing with. Sands Funeral Home in Nanaimo. I'm not going to stop somebody from wanting to do that. I mean, that's my dad. He was the most simplest man. You know, our relationship was, in the past, was different. and there wasn't a relationship actually. It was non-existent. But I'm so glad and grateful that, you know, the second part of my life, that I became friends with him and started to ask him questions, and we talked about the past, and I learned about his history and his past and where he come from, and more about him. Do you know the most money he ever made in his life? Per hour? My dad? $23 an hour. He worked until he was 79 years old, right down the street as a meat cutter. He worked until he was 79 years old and died when he was 80. Everyone that knew him and everyone that talked to him talked about two things: how strong he was and what a hard worker he was and a good guy. That's three. That's it. I didn't see that when I was a young man. I was too hurt and too angry and abandoned from hurt. But once I got over that, I was able to see him for what he was. He was a good guy. He was very simple. We're actually very similar people. We're very similar people. And I'm telling you, and I'll tell it to you again, don't let people leave your lives without getting straight with them. It's not good. You know what I mean? Amy, can you let people know how to become a member? Hey, that's super cool. I would love some more members in our member group. It helps the channel. You get extra behind the scenes stuff. We get more live feeds over there, and we're starting to roll now. I've got a funeral. I've got my dad's will to executor. That's all coming up. There's going to be, you know, it is what it is, friends. I go down to my dad's house every morning and every night to feed the cats and stoke the wood stove. There's wildlife, friends. I got some wildlife coming up. I got a video coming up on the members feed of a sea lion with a salmon and the seagulls and eagles and deer. It's crazy down there. All you have to do is X out of the chat and you'll see just join. All you have to do is exit out of the chat. Oh, that's all you do. Just exit out of the chat and you'll see it there. It'll say join. Thank you, John Bruner. Members, we want members. Absolutely. The bigger the community there, the better. Nothing changes here. The channel always stays the same. It's just more work and more content, and I'm okay with that. This is my life now. This is completely my life now. Jason Reese, hey Buckin, I have a question. Jason, what's your question? If you were given a full house chain or a skip, hey Buckin, have a question. If you were given a full house chain or a skip tooth for bucking softwood. Well, Jason, it's more about the size of the wood, brother. It's not about species, my friend. It's about size and about power. I like my full house chain. Yeah, I like full house. But there's nothing wrong with skip. And it's got nothing to do with species, to be honest with you. Yeah, it's got to do with girth, size. Skip tooth is better in big wood, actually, believe it or not. Yeah. Does that help, Jay? If you want to use skip tooth, use it in big wood. It's less taxing on the saw. Yeah. I can get skip tooth cutting like wildfire, friends. And it's quicker to file. Yeah, it's quicker to file. But Jason, what I do recommend you do, Jay, is don't just take some guy's opinion like old Buckin Billy Ray's or some cookie cutter on the internet. I would suggest get both skip and full so that you can have your own experience. And then when someone asks you the question, you can go, holy smokes, that full house sure cuts good, but it sure is taxing on the power head. And when I put the skip tooth chain on there, it actually cut a little quicker and was easier on the power head. You see what I'm saying, brother? Hi, Lewis. Hi, Fred Roberts. Hawk Force. Hawk Force, did you find your way in there? New fan, struggling between Husky 592. Well, those are two different saws completely. It depends on what kind of bucking you're going to be doing. You can't really compare those two saws. Because the 500i, if you want a full spectrum saw that's going to cut, like, it's going to be like a robust powerhouse workhorse, no problems, straight up, pull the cord, go to work. I would say the 592 is going to be a much better saw than the 500, but it's much heavier. It's much heavier. I wouldn't really compare those two. Why? So why would you say a 592 or a 500? What's the, what are you doing with the saw, brother? What's your plan? What kind of cutting are you doing? Because the 500 is nice and light, and if all you're going to be doing is dogging in and cutting firewood off the end of a bucket, the 500 might be the way to go. Right? You know what I mean? They're two different classes, actually. I mean, they are in a 90cc class saw, or one's an 80 and one's a 90, you see? So they're actually a different class. So that's a difficult one. But I know what you mean, because it's what's available on the market. I understand. Guandez, good to see you. Thank you for all your support. Good to see you here. Yeah, Nicholas, that's, really track down what your cutting's going to be doing, Nicholas. But I will tell you this, you won't be unhappy with that 592, but it is quite a bit heavier. See you, Guandez. But as a saw, the 592 is a much more robust machine, much more robust. And you will cut big wood like you'd never believe with that saw. That's a big wood saw, brother. But the nice thing about the 500 is it will cut, it's light. So it's easier to lug around. So, weigh out what you're doing with it. I can't thank you super chatters enough. Honestly, thank you all so much. What a wonderful treat. What a supportive community. I absolutely love the 592. It is a beast. Heavier, but it's got the zip. I know, that's the thing right there. He just said it. It's got the zip in small wood. You can limb it. You can limb, buck. You can do it all. It's full spectrum, where the 500 is not. It's not. The 500 has weird quirks, and it burns a ton of gas. You'll cut twice as much wood with the 592 as you will with the 500. Plain and simple. The 500 is a light hot rod. It's not very strong, that saw. It's a hot rod saw. Lightweight and power. You can't really... It's the best in class power to weight. But the 592 is like an all-around monster. It is. Yeah, it's a lot of people's go-to saw. It gets her done. But if you need to cut small wood, Shane Reynolds, no way. Buddy, good to see you. I love you too, buddy. Buckin recommend known for spikes, climbing harness, and flip blinds. Well, I'll tell you what, IT. I'll tell you what I do. Is I just go to Weaver and I get the 1085. The belt is called the 1085. And I just buy Klein's or Buckingham spurs. I don't go with any of the highfalutin specialties. I just buy Klein's. K-L-E-N-I-E-I-N or I-E-N. Klein's. They've been around forever. Del Neal, that's right. That's a good saw. You want to be able to cut small wood at any moment. You want it to go whack. And the 500, my 500 didn't do it. Neither one of them did until I got rip saws, and then it did. And sometimes it doesn't. Sometimes it doesn't. They're too inconsistent. The 500 is. It's too inconsistent. Kleins are great, but the spurs are the difference. You got to get a bark spur. Pole spurs they don't really work around here. They work for poles and hardwood, but you don't spike hardwood trees. So, right? We use a Klein for bark, for big thick bark. Canon 28. Ah, very nice. Very nice, Johnny Bruner. You're going to like that. You're tall. You could go 32. Oh, I slept wrong with my neck, and holy smackers, up in between my shoulder blade there, you know. Nicholas Smith with a super chat. Thank you. I wish I could send you a picture. You had a semi-load of sycamore, cottonwood, elm, and various species. Just had a... Oh, cool, Nicholas. Nicholas Smith. Thank you for the super chat. We appreciate you. Johnny McCormick, good to see you. Well, the still lightweight bars, the still mount is fat, and Mac is skinny. So you'll have to put some spacers over top of your studs, buddy, and change your oiler. Mac oiler is different. So you'll have to see. Yeah, I can make anything work, but it won't just bolt on. No, it won't. Snowman, nice to see you. Good to see you. It's good to see everybody today. Holy smackers, I've been off work for a month after falling out of the tree. Got too complacent. Matt T. Well, I hope you're healing up, buddy. Snowman, good to see you, bud. Had to mod my oiler and bar adapter, 28 still. Yeah, exactly. Anything will go on, but you gotta mod things. Jiri, JJ, good to see you. Friends, I'm so grateful for you freaking people. I am. Life is crazy right now, as you can imagine. You know, it is. It's nuts. We're out of the fire into the pan, or out of the pan into the fire. We got everything going on with my dad still. We got to do all that, or I get to do all that. Let's say that. And that takes time. There will be a little more on memberships about that journey than here, because it doesn't really, I don't know. It just, not everybody's interested in that stuff. The people who join memberships are, I think, a little more invested in me as a human being, if that makes sense. And I'm not saying the people that aren't members aren't. It's just when you invest in someone, you care about a certain more aspects of their life. And that's just my opinion. If I'm wrong, I'm wrong. But I just, it feels like a family over there, to be honest with you. It really does. So yeah, I'm so grateful for everyone right now at this point in my life. I use memberships as a little place to talk quite a bit, actually. I'll just come on and talk. And people don't really dig that on the main channel. on the big channel. They don't. You know. Burn your wood stove hot when you first light it. Yes, you're actually supposed to do that. In the manual, it says do that. Did you know that, friends? You're supposed to burn your wood stove hot for an hour every day. Twice, if you can. Absolutely. My dad's wood stove, well, our wood stove now, burns for 16 and 17 hours. So I'm getting 12 hours steady. So if I go to bed at 9 or 10 o'clock, I'm waking up to a freaking roar and fire. I love it. That doesn't happen here with my little stove. Eric Holberg, good to see you, and thank you for the super chat. Can't believe the super chats today. Holy cow, what a support. And it's a big help right now, friends. It's a big help. Thank you all. Mr. Grayson, good to see you. The fellows that port to 500s have really got it figured out. No more blah. Yeah, Eric, I've heard about that. That took a while, didn't it? So that's good to hear, Eric. That's really good to hear. Yeah, because that was not good. Remember that? I was the only guy that said it. And everybody's like, oh yeah, it does that. What does that tell you, Eric? It tells you that people are too busy ramming in the dogs and not cutting small wood. That's just what it is, man. It's just what it is. They don't know what a full spectrum saw is because they don't use it like a professional does. So they would have never noticed that blapping. They didn't even know about it until I brought it up. And I'm not tooting my own horn. I'm just saying a professional who's lived on a power saw for 30 freaking years is going to know something different than a cookie cutter who's been on a saw for a couple of years. And that's no disrespect. It's facts. The 362 is a good saw. I just gave one to my boy to go slashing with. Daryl Powell, we love you. Eric, you know the freaking game. You've been around long enough, Eric. You know the game. You've been watching people for years on YouTube. You know what's what. And you know who's who. Eric, I know you do. And the fact that you're here supporting me, Eric, means a lot, and I appreciate you, buddy, and don't you forget it. And I mean that. That's the straight goods. I ain't out to impress nobody. I've done things that would make most men go home and cry in their pickups, and that's about all I'll say about that. And that's the facts. Things are different out here. We're not walking through a field, cutting trees down, rolling trees off the crowns and willy-nillying it wherever it goes. You've got to have your shot. You've got to have your shot or you're not getting out. You guys never saw any of my heydaying. I got 15 years of cutting before I even came to YouTube. That's the truth of it. And I don't talk like that very much, friends. You know I don't. But it's true. Anyway, I don't even feel right talking like that. I sound like I'm tooting my horn or something. But if there was a camera on me 25 years ago, poof, boast away. No, I don't like doing that. He didn't understand long bars until he's seen a few demos. Daryl, yeah, good, eh? Well, it's just a different way of cutting, right? It's just a different way of cutting. You know, I understand. I've cut hardwood. I've seen all kinds of guys on the internet doing their thing, and I've never said a word about them or to them because that's how they do it. And we do it how we do it. And I tend to mix the two together. If I need to use something from that system, I incorporate it. I do what the tree tells me to do, not what some instructor told me. Or some YouTuber. Oh, Daryl, well, that makes sense. You should give him a hit. But he's going nowhere, Daryl, until he learns how to file, right? You're not going to stand up and buck until you learn how to file. That's the facts. You honestly, you need to learn how to file. Because if you don't get those rakers just right, you're going to want to dig those dogs in and pull up on the pistol grip. It's just facts. A lot of facts today, friends. Hey, isn't there? Eh? Huh? But you're not, though, a person who makes a living on a power saw and does filing for a living has nothing to prove, because people who do that for a living are a different breed of people. Yes. You're not, though, a person who makes. Not anymore, I'm not, brother. Not anymore, I'm not. You got that right, Okanagan Viking. I used to be. I used to make a living on a power saw. I haven't charged for my work for 5 years, as a matter of fact, so I can't say I make a living on it unless I talk about my YouTube channel. Right, buddy? I know, it's crazy. Buckin, you're the reason why my chains is always rip snorting. Mr. Brzezinski. Well, that's good, brother. That's good. I remember when I first came to the internet and I was like, oh my goodness, friends, I've seen some, I can't watch another chainsaw sharpening video. I cannot do it. And I started to show my system of getting the gullet, and then it took me a while to raise up. There's not just one thing. It was important for me to get folks to understand you've got to get the gullet. Well, thanks, Eric. I appreciate it. I know that, buddy. I know that. I appreciate it, Eric. Well, it's all on the internet, right, brother? It's all there. I kind of feel like I've got it there. You know what I mean, buddy? It's there. It's there. You know? So we're going into a whole new phase now, you know? I may even do some, you know what I was thinking about next year at Bunan, friends? Seriously, tell me what you think about this. This is actually Christine's idea. A little bit of mine, but mainly Christine. At Bunan, we set up about 10 logs with power saws with stump vices in them. And we have people come in and I put a headset on and I go walking around teaching people to file at Bunan. Wouldn't that be fun? The Rocky of the saw world. That's right. Would that not be fun at Bunan? Question, Buckin. My buddy little thing going here. I said you can steer a tree with the wedges and you're cutting, and he said it is all in the weight of the tree. Oh, Jason, I don't have the energy. Brother, to steer a tree, you have to stay on the stump. You can definitely steer a tree with the hinge wood. No more needs to be said. Do you think that I would seriously say you can steer a tree if you couldn't steer a tree, Jason? That's why I stay on the stump when I got to shoot a shot. I will stay on the stump and go whoop, whoop, and that tree will literally go like this. Whoop, whoop. You can steer a tree. Wedges is not steering. Or you mean dropping a wedge in the undercut? Is that what you mean, Jay? I'm not sure if that's what you mean or not. Brian Hebert, member for 2 months. Brian Hebert is not just a member. This dude is outstanding. Me and my boys are cooking dinner while we watch. My oldest son, Stephen Merrill. Stephen. Aha! Thank you, buddy. Mr. Hebert, what? 195 people on a Sunday afternoon listening to my flaps. I love it. It's great. Evening, Buckin. Hope you're doing well. Louise Clemie. I love this. Anyway, yeah, Jason, you can steer trees, but you gotta stay on the stump, brother, and you gotta be looking up. Because why would you steer it if you weren't looking up? There's no point. Because how would you know what to do if you didn't watch where the tree was going? Wait till you see my next video. Wait till you see my next video. No problem, Jason. No problem, buddy. I don't go too much into that, Jay. You know that, brother, Mr. Reese. Yeah, if you're trying to, if you just set your hinge, put it this way, Jay. If you make an undercut, a wide open undercut, so that it will actually stay on its hinge and not close and redirect. If you have a hinge that's like this, right? Do you understand what I mean? Like this. If you cut it at the last moment like that, that tree's going to go like this. It takes years. I know you understand, Jay. I know you do. As Donnie Walker says, want to know if a saw is a good, bad? Give it to a logger. They will give you an honest answer. There's not much more than the truth than that, Eric. That's why, have you guys tell me right now in this freaking comment section, have you ever, in the whole 10 years I've been on YouTube, have you ever seen me in a pissing match with anybody about anything in my comment section? Tell me right now. I already know what the answer is. I don't get into it. I just don't do it. I don't need to justify my existence or how I do things to anyone. 10 years, friends. Thank you. I just don't do it, friends. Don't raise your voice at me. Anyways. I love yous all. 24. Happy birthday, buddy. Look, we got lots of folks in today. Just a firewood hack. Good man. File every couple tanks. I love the idea of teaching guys to sharpen. More important than what saw you run. JP, isn't that the truth, brother? It sure is, bud. Loopy. The snowman. My 268 doesn't have compression release, and the drop method is so much better. Chris Wessels. Yes, it is, Chris. Get her mastered, brother. Of course it is. Stand up straight and throw that saw away from you. Put the handbrake on, let her fly, brother. Be a man. Be a man. Anyway. Did we get those hoodies straightened out from Sizemore and myself? Did we? I ran a 310 Echo. Good little saw. Good little saw. Oh my goodness. Wow. Are you staying home, honey? Where are you going? Are you bringing him out to stay over, honey? Yeah. Nice. My father-in-law is coming to stay here tonight. So so now I've got my real dad just passed away. My dad, I loved him in the end. I loved him. Just loved him. I did. I got to help him. I got to see who he was. We talked old stories. We talked actually about when I was a child and how it was with my mother. Do you know what I mean, friends? I'm talking like stuff you wouldn't think you'd talk to about with your dad. And the reason why he left my mom and all that stuff. I got it square with my dad, friends. We left in peace. He knew that it was peaceful with me now. And I think that's why he had me. I think that's why he had me as his last person. He died with me and my wife by his side. I just think it was easy to be around me. Yeah, I can't explain it. Yeah. Anyway, got the 572. Oh, Chase. Hands down my favorite saw, she screams. Dude, I'm telling you, that saw got overlooked by a lot of people. If you can get your hands on a 572 and get an exhaust on it, You've got one of the best saws on the market, hands down. Straight goods. My wife, Jessie Reese, my wife wants to know, you can do the drifter. She loves it when you do that. Oh, I'm sure I could, Jess, I could. Yeah. Jason, I could do the drifter. Absolutely, I could. I need me a ripsaw. Oh yeah, buddy. Them ripsaw 572s. Woo. So Ripsaw sent me a 572 and I was like, oh dang, nice. And then you guys remember when I put those pipes on it and I changed and did all that thing and then I found one. Oh, my 572 muffler is a cracker. Cracker. Yeah, I like it. I was torn between a 562 and a comparable still. I went with the 5.6. Oh, dude, you made a smart decision. If you watch every video on the internet about the 562 versus the 362, the 562 Mach 2 is a far better saw. And I'm not saying the 362 is a bad saw. I have both of them. I have both of them. One's ported. Well, actually, both are. But no, it just is what it is. The 562 is a nicer saw. But everybody has their own situation. Do you recommend a muffler mod on a pipe? Yes, I do, Mike. Yes, I do. 100%. I recommend a muffler mod on every little two-stroke power saw. Every one. Yes, indeed. Sorry, friends. Carnivore diet. PIM. What's PIM? Carnivore diet. Oh, yeah. There you go. Pim's got a year in now. Is that what he said? Pim, you got 12 months in now, buddy? Sober? Good for you, buddy. Get ready for the hard part. The second year's harder. The first year's a gift. I hate to tell you. You better buckle down, son. I love you, honey. I'll see you guys when you get back. Drive safe, hon. Pim. Yeah, you keep saying that, Pim. You've said it about 5 times now. I think you want anxiety, Pim. It seems like it's your thing. What would you do without anxiety, Pim? What would you have to talk about if you didn't have anxiety? Anxiety is fear, brother. You just need more love in you. Now, whether that comes from God or from the people around you, do you believe in anything, Pim? Do you have a higher power of some source? Do you believe in God or Jesus or Allah or Buddha, or do you believe in anything like that? And do you believe it is a miraculous source that can take all your problems away? Do you believe that? Because it seems to me, Pim, that every time one of your comments, you've got the word anxiety in it. I think you want anxiety. I think I do have faith in something. I think you do too, Pim. And I think you're afraid to let go of the anxiety because you'd have nothing to kind of, you know what I'm saying? You don't want it. Oh. Well, what's the opposite of anxiety? Pim, I'm talking to you. What is the opposite of anxiety? Because anxiety is fear, correct? Let's talk about this for 2 seconds and then move on. Love. Exactly. Love. Faith. So ask and thank your source for love, and your anxiety will go away. Your anxiety will go away when you're ready for it to go away. But you're not ready, Pim. I can tell you're not ready. You're giving a lot of energy to your anxiety. And the more energy you give to your anxiety, the more your anxiety is going to grow. The less energy you give to the anxiety, the more love's going to come, brother. I believe we know the answers, Pim, and I believe you know the answers. And congratulations on 12 months. I'm not going to be no coddling guy who's going to coddle you and give you some kind of a yes man. That's not me, Pim. I hope you know that by now. I'm not your yes man. And I don't claim to know where you're at. I only know what you tell me, Pim. That's all I know. You love it. You love the attention, Pim. I know you do. Everybody likes attention. How do we get attention? Well, maybe we tell people about our anxiety. Forget the anxiety, Pim. Kick it out the door. When you're ready to let it go, it'll go, buddy. It'll go. When you're sincerely ready to have the anxiety leave, it will start to go away. And it shan't take more than about 21 days if you're excited about it going away. He's getting help, Hawk. He's getting help. He's here. He has 200 people right here. This is where his help is today, right now. He's asking for help, and here's his help. It'll come in many fashions, Hawk. You gave him some help, didn't you? Didn't you tell him to start eating meat? Or was that somebody else? Well, I'm telling him what I think. So there's all kinds of help out there. Is whether we want to listen to it or not is whether we're going to get better. Good man, Pim. Good man. I got a lot of faith in you, Pim. You've been here a long time. I think Pim knows that we all love him. There's Robbie Egan. Yeah, Pim knows we love him. Chris just had a great suggestion. Go do something for somebody else. Split some firewood, Pim. That helps too. There's so many good suggestions, but let me tell you this. Let me tell you this. No matter how low I was when I was in my stink, it wouldn't matter what anybody said to me. I wasn't going to do nothing. You guys could tell me all kinds of good things, and I wouldn't do none of it until I was ready, until I had enough pain in my life. So that's why when people ask me about stuff, I give it to them straight. And I think Pim appreciates my straightness, don't you, Pim? I think he does. Anyway, somebody just super chatted something crazy here, and I got to talk to this fella here right now. Who did this? Who super chatted? Friends, Eric Hussey. You're a great person. Just stay you, because, brother, nobody else can. Eric Hussey. Eric, thank you, buddy. I appreciate you, Eric. Thank you for the super chat. Friends, can we thank that fella? That's right, Pim. You know me. You know me. I'm not going to go coddling nobody unless, Pim, we've been friends for a while now. We got to talk straight with one another, Pim. I prefer it that way. I wasn't going to change until I had enough pain in my life. You know what I mean? And I've been down. Oh, I've been down. He's going down, down, down. Yeah, it's like all these things that I talk about on my channel and my videos. Here's one thing I do know. Here's one thing I do know. If you're dishonest, if you lie and cheat, and even have a dishonest kind of a criminal mind, a sick mind, you're you're thinking sick thoughts and dishonest thoughts, your self-esteem is going to be in the gutter, and you're going to believe you deserve nothing good in your life because you have these thoughts. And if you're acting on those thoughts, it's even worse. You're creating hell for yourself on earth. Hell on earth. You know what I'm saying? So I do know if you're honest and work hard and be honest and be nice to people, your self-esteem is going to be lifted and you're going to feel good about yourself. That's what I do know. So you are the creator of what's going on in your life. You create how you feel. So, Helga, that's a great point. And he may not have seen it. And you're absolutely right, Helga. The human spirit is such a strong thing. When I have bad thoughts come into my mind, I don't even say those words like let's just say it again because we're talking about it. You got that right, Snowman. Like anxiety. When you say the word anxiety, you feel anxiety and you give energy to anxiety. And is that true? Does that make sense, friends? Like, do you understand what I'm talking about? And I say it lots when we're praying for something. Don't pray to have your anxiety removed. Don't say, please remove this anxiety. Please, don't say that. Don't say that because you're giving all the energy to the anxiety. Say, thank you for the love and the calm. Thank you. Thank you for removing it. You know what I mean? But I like to talk about the opposite of it. Thank you for the love. The love removes the fear. So thank you. Thanks for bringing it on. That's true, Card Hunger. It's true. You get what you focus on. And if you're focusing on that, that's why, friends, believe it or not, I don't know if anybody remembers me. Do you guys remember when I would say anti-positive? Why did I use the word anti-positive? Who knows why I would do that? Can someone answer that for me, please? Do you know why I use the word anti-positive? Because I want to give zero energy to the other side of it, which is, we know what it is. We know the word. Friends, I'm trippy. You got it, Shane Reynolds. That's exactly right. That's exactly right. That's why I say anti-positive. Because I don't want to say the word N, the N word. I'm telling you. So I don't just talk this stuff. This doesn't come flapping out of my mouth, friends. I live this stuff. I live this stuff. Okay? Thank you. Thank you. Right? Pim, I hope you're listening because you got big things ahead of you, bud. You do, Pim. When you're ready to let go of the pain, brother, and put down the barrel of rocks, Pim, you're going to have such a wild life. That's right, Pim. Exactly. And keep doing it. Every time it comes in, I would get these bad thoughts about Hogan. When I started training him about climbing trees, I had these visions in my head, these bad thoughts that Hogan was going to hurt himself in some way. And those thoughts would come into my mind. And I would say, get out of here. Literally, friends, get out of here. I ain't got time for you. Go. And they would leave. But they might come back the next minute. And I would have to tell them to leave again. Because that's the power I have. I have power over what comes in. Or what I don't have power what comes in. That comes in. But I have power what I do with it. once it goes bouncing around in there. I can say hit the road or I can entertain it. That's what I mean by that. That's all. Excuse me one sec. Johnny McCormick. Johnny, thank you, buddy. John, when I'm fatigued, I don't take care of it. It leads to depression. Otherwise, it's just a pebble in the road. And I'm wearing working boots. What pebble? Johnny, I love you, buddy. I love you. Thank you, John. John, you're my friend. John McCormick is my friend. He comes to my events and he stands on my side and he listens to me and I listen to him. He's my friend. I never prayed to remove fear or anxiety. Instead, I changed my outlook on life. I help others. Love nature, found the next right dude, and never expected payment in any form. The small woodlot. Good stuff, buddy. Unfortunately, without the negative, regardless, positive wouldn't exist. That's absolutely correct. They need each other to exist. That's why we water the positive and we stomp on the other one. Right? It's true. You're 100% true. And hot ain't hot without cold. And good ain't good without evil. They need one another to exist. Isn't he, Johnny? I want this community to grow. I want to start a freaking revolution is what I want to do. I want to do for a long time. I do. And everybody's welcome in my sandbox. I don't care where you're from or what your faith is. I don't care. But I do hope you've got something. I hope you've got something. I don't care what it is or what you call it. I really hope you have some sort of kind of source that you can count on and believe in. Evil isn't the opposite of good. Bad is. Is it? You know what I'm saying, Hawk. What's the opposite? What's the opposite of good? Bad? Well, good and evil are, what's evil? What's the opposite to evil? Hawk. Tell me which one. What's the opposite of evil? Remind me, I forgot. Good and evil? Or maybe I've lost something. Fear. Fear is the opposite of evil? Oh. I can't say I agree with that, but what's the opposite of evil, Hawk? Stephen. It's whatever you think it is. That's what it is. It's whatever you think it is. That's a good one, Matt. I think we all know what we're talking about here, friends. Hawk, you have your beliefs, brother. Just hold on to them tight in your heart, okay, buddy? Don't flounder, bud. You know what I'm saying, Hawk? Don't flounder. You just hang on tight, brother, to your beliefs and what you think. Don't squander it. Don't flounder. And don't go justifying it to nobody. Just hang on to it as tight as you can, brother. That's what's most important. No matter what anybody else says. If it makes sense to you, that's all that matters. But just remember one thing. Someone might think differently than you. And that's where the rubber hits the road, brother. Can you love that person? Can you build a sandcastle with that person? Can you, brother? Because I think completely opposite than you. But I know me and you could get together and build a sandcastle together. I guarantee we could. Mike Wern, that's a good one, bud. Me too. Oh, yeah. Daryl Smith, I love you, brother. Good to see you. Thank you to all our super chatters today. I freaking love these conversations. Love them. You got it right, Okanagan Viking. You got it damn straight. I seek to understand rather than seek to be understood. I seek to love rather than to be loved. And it is only in dying that true freedom is found. Something to that measure. The St. Francis prayer. If you're struggling, get on the St. Francis prayer. That'll straighten you right up. Straighten you up like a board. Which muffler for 372 is good? I'm thinking of getting one. I'm located in Sweden. Well, I don't know. I don't know. Is there mufflers for 372s out there? St. Francis prayer. Pim, do me a favor. It's the step 11 prayer. It's called the St. Francis prayer. Pim, read that prayer. Read it tonight, today, when we're done here, or right now. Check it out. St. Francis prayer. Have a little read, brother. That's what you need in your life. There you go, JJ. I like it. Step 11. Well, that's just step 11 was, I did a 12-step program many years ago, and it was in the step 11 prayer, but it's just the St. Francis prayer is what it is. I got a Husky 460 and can't watch. And can't watch to get my, can't wait to get my 572. Dan, you're going to freak. Helga, I love this community. So glad I found you. Helga, you are such a sweetheart. You know that? Helga. I love you, darling. You are a sweetheart of a woman. You are. You're like Aunt Helga. And I mean that. Thank you. 395. Good saw. 395 is a strong one. Kevin Duff, I love you. What's going on with your 395 choke issues? Who needs a choke anyway? What do you mean choke issues? The crew cab's coming along, Mike. Thanks for asking. It's about time now, getting down there. He's got the cab all done. We just need to do a swap now. Yeah, Morgan, we've had horrible weather. Once my dad passed away and he got sick, things kind of took precedence, if you know what I'm saying. Saw shuts down. What do you mean? You mean the choke kicks on? Is 3120 the king of big saws? No, it's not. No. No, it's not. I don't even like the 3120. The Mac 125 is the king of the big saws. What do you need a big saw like that for? Do you know how many of those they make a month? Do you know how many of those they make a month? Those 3120s? One a day. They make one a day, the 3120, and it's built by hand. There's one assembly line. I went there. I went to the Husky. They don't make any. Hardly any. They don't sell that many. I'm not joking you, friends. I remember I went to the factory and I think they said they make one a day or 12 a month or something weird. Seriously, friends. Mike, that's a good truck. Is it before the low boy came in? Is it a high boy or is it a low boy with the short drive shaft up front? Because they changed that in the first couple of months of 77. I had a 77 high boy, actually. It was the last of the high boys. Alan, you're right. Alan, you're absolutely right. The 3120 is a ripping saw, big, dirty. Yeah, it's all bottom, you know. Yeah, I heard good things about the 881. Yeah. Danny Barth, have you ever wrapped your mittens around one of those things and dove into a 4-foot log with it? It'll change your life. It's that if you're a power saw man and you love power saws, like Dan, I'm not kidding you. Bradley McKinnon, I love you, buddy. Thank you for the nice words. Yeah, so Mike, I know what you're saying, but does it have the long front drive shaft or the short one? Do you know what I mean, Mike? It's either a high boy or it's not. So to me, it sounds like a low boy unless it's got like a 4-foot drive shaft at the front. Do you know what I mean, buddy? Maybe I missed your comment. Yeah, it's probably a low boy, eh? Or is it a high boy? Because that's when they changed them. Ah, okay. Yeah. So it's a low boy mic, probably. That's probably what it is. Yeah. It's kind of it doesn't sit up as high as those high boys, like the ones I got. It's like yeah, gotcha. Beautiful truck, buddy. Beautiful truck. Yeah. This has been fun. Yeah, it's a divorce transfer case. That's right, North Cal. It's got Highboy has a divorce transfer case all separate on its own. That's why the front drive shaft's really long, and it's got a little kind of a little under. There's a couple things that you can tell right away. I had a 77 Highboy, and it was made in February 77, and it was the last of the Highboys, and that's what wrecked me. That truck wrecked me. I was on the search for one ever since I had that one. There's nothing like them. That's right. Not like Sylvia. Exactly. Yeah. Hey, Canuck. Thank you, buddy. Chainsaw Canuck. Thank you for the super chat. That's very nice of you. Thank you. I will get myself a coffee. Transfer or separate on a Highboy. That's right, Two Bears. Two Bears, how you doing, bud? How's the Two Bears doing? You been swinging? You been swinging an axe? Or is that a foolish question? Yum, Timmy's. You know, friends, I used to travel down all these roads with my highboy, and the rocks would get stuck in the tires and fling around and whack underneath the truck, going down those long, dusty, dirty roads. Oh, man. Jason, are you still here? Jason, you asked me to do the drifter for your wife. Now, if you're not here, brother. Mark Jerdry. Been a long time, drifter. Yeah, it has. Yeah, the spirit's got to be high for the drifter. Sven, yeah. Do you guys remember when I used to do all them freaking characters? That means you got to be feeling like, you got to be feeling good to be doing that stuff. My buddy, so I've got a few people in my personal contacts. Some of those are from the members group. Jamie Barkin Spider I've had in my personal phone for years. And he just sent me a message saying, I knew the drifter was coming. I love my 65 highboy. Just pulled it out for the winter and I love it. She is laughing her butt off. Ah, good. I'm glad she saw that. You know, friends, I don't know if you remember the first time that I was doing the access for the loggerweight guy. My grandmother, she passed away a long time ago. Because, friends, Hogan, when Hogan was with me, friends, on the channel all that time, and I would do the drifter, we'd be out chopping and cutting and splitting and doing tree work, and all of a sudden I'd go like this, and he would start giggling instantly. He knew what was coming. He knew. I'd be talking along like this, and all of a sudden I'd go. And he knew. He would just start howling. You know, because this logger Wade, he was a man, he was a hardworking man, and still is a hardworking man from the Indiana. He's a tree cutter, you know. Hello, sweetest man alive, Christina Seaman. Christina, you just said some very nice words to me, and I feel your love. Thank you so much, Christina. What a sweetheart. Who would say that to old Buckin Billy Ray? Huh? Look at that nice thing Christina said. Hello, sweetest man alive. Now that's pretty nice. Christina, thank you. What a sweetheart. We should give Christina a shirt for those nice words. Shouldn't we, friends? Sorry about your loss. You're handling the changes. Life, a chap. Keep on trucking. PA is always in your pockets. And the gentle breeze at your back. Laughing and goofing right on, brother. A.C. Jackson. Bunyan was really good, Dan. Like I'm talking really good. Hey, who was here? Who here was at Bunyan? Who here was at Bunyan? Right? Yeah, Hawk, they probably would, brother. They probably would. Come on. How was Bunyan? How did Buckin Billy Ray and his group do at Bunyan? Come on. I think it was good. I felt like, I'm talking, the big fella, he gave me everything I needed. I was like, hey, there's White's CJ. I was strong. I was grounded. I was listening. I was focused. I had people coming at me steady. I was just like full of love. Wasn't I, Johnny? I was there. I was there in service to listen. It was good. It was really good. That's why I come to these things. Beauregard Rippy. Barking Spider. Next year I will come. Yeah, you should, buddy. Crazy good memories. Danny Barth, you had a good one with your kid and your wife there. That was a good one for you guys, wasn't it? I ran one of Danny's saws. That saw is good and strong, Dan. It's good and strong. There's nothing wrong with that saw at all. Looking forward to it. Johnny McCormick. I was there. So was Marty and the Christine. Oh, yeah. It was such a fun time. Bunyan was even better this year than last. Shane Reynolds. Yes, indeed it was. Shane, you're a very polite man. So, friends, Shane Reynolds he's a member. So that means he supports my channel. He gets access to the perks. And he just stood there and looked at me, never said a word, never came up to grab me or say, can I this or can I that? He just stood there and looked at me. And then I had a few minutes with him and I was just like, come here, you son of a gun, give me some love. I gave him a big hug and, oh man, you people mean so much to me. You really do. Shane, you're a good dude, man. You're a good dude. Oh, that's good, Jason Reese. That's good. Good people surround and attract good people. So Jason's a good person, so that means I try to be a good person too. You see where I was going with that, Jay? Brian Hebert, dinner plans. Love you all. Brian, thank you again for all your support and your love and all your efforts at Bunyan. You are a man of service, and I love you, brother. Danny Barth, you and your girls, what a trip. It was so fun. Anyway, I think I should go, friends. I think I should go. Johnny Bruner, imagine what you mean to us. Well, I hope I'm something to you anyway. Bucking the tailgate shelf bench is a genius thought. I'm going to do. Yeah, do it, buddy. Do it. It's good. Good night, Johnny Bruner. Good night, friends. Good night, all. Friends, I love yous all. Work hard. Be honest. Read that St. Francis prayer. Read it. Pim. Your anxiety's on the way, bud. It's on the way out the door, brother. It is. I know it is. It's when you want it to be gone is when man and God work together to remove the defect, because it's a defect. We weren't put here to suffer, brother. Pim, get started on it. Good night. Good night, everyone. Kim Wilson, we love you. Marty, good to see you. Christine. Good night, Mr. Durf. Good night, everybody. It's great to see everybody. Sizemore. Larry Bollinger. Ish. Hawk Force. Good to see you today, Hawk. Take care of yourself. Hold on tight, brother. Pim, nice to see you. Julio McDermott. Brushinsky. Misty Mornings. Mike. The Healed Heart Space. Derek Thomas, Helga, Danny Barth, Captain 41, Kim Wilson, Christine. Goodbye, everyone. Work hard, be honest, and be freaking kind, will yas? See you on the next one.